Hey, how's it going? My name's Tyler. This is Tech with Tyler, and today we're going to be shopping for a laptop under $500. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button because it really helps me out. Trying to hit that 1K mark. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment box below. I'll try to get back to you as fast as I can. The reason why I'm doing this video is because a friend of mine reached out to me. He said, "Hey, Tyler, I need to get a laptop. It's got to be under 500 bucks. Am I going to get anything decent for that?" And I told him, "Yeah, you can get a laptop for 500 bucks. That's going to be pretty good. Um, might not be brand new, but it's going to be pretty good." So, without wasting any more time with this intro, we're going to get into the video, but keep in mind that these prices are going to be shown in Canadian dollars. I'm in Canada. So if you're shopping from the US, your prices are going to be slightly lower, just because the dollar is converting at, I think, $1.34 Canadian dollars to $1 US. So that's something to keep in mind. That's benefit bonus for those in the US. Also, another thing to keep in mind is that the websites I'm using are probably not going to be the same websites you'll get in the US, but these laptops are readily available in lots of places, and we're going to talk about that also in the video. So stay tuned because you don't want to miss out on this $500 laptop. So before we actually get into the laptop that I'm recommending, we're going to go ahead and go to Best Buy because that's probably one of the bigger laptop retailers that you're going to find in Canada. And we're going to go ahead and look at some options here in the $500 range. So I've pulled up some filters here. I'm going $400 to $600, Best Buy only sellers, just so we can see what's available at the store right now. So we got $449 for a VivoBook from Asus, which is a good company, but this is their low-end model. It's running an Intel Pentium Silver with a 256 SSD and 8 gigs of RAM. Not very good. This is gonna be. It's okay. It's okay. That's all I'm gonna say. Further down, another. So we got an Acer Aspire. Usually, you're getting more value with Acer. Here, you're getting a i3 11th gen with a 512 SSD, 8 gigs of RAM. But that is an open box unit, so that's not a big deal. I never mind buying open box units. You're saving money because someone broke the seal. Let's keep looking. So these are all going to get above 500, which is not what you want to see. But that's okay. Another one here. So Samsung Galaxy Book Go, Snapdragon. That is a mobile phone tablet processor in a laptop. That's okay. 4 gigs of RAM is not going to do you well. Here's a 15-inch 512 gig SSD, 8 gigs of RAM with a Ryzen 3 3250U. So all these laptops, these Ryzen 3s, this Athlon, this Intel Pentium, they're all bottom of the barrel in terms of processing power and specs. So what I'm going to do is show you what my recommendation is as someone who's buying a laptop at $500. Now, these laptops are going to be readily available in a lot of places. They're going to be probably certified refurbished because what happens is companies buy these laptops, they give them to their workforce, then they're on lease, they give them back, and they get refurbished, cleaned up, and they sell them. So it's not going to be a brand new looking laptop, but I'm telling you, it's going to work really well. So I'm going to keep this tab open over here so that we can look at it after. But I'm going to show you a crazy deal here. So what we've got here is a T490 14-inch 8th gen i5. So it's a little older, but hear me out. We got 16 gigs of RAM. I think it's upgradable to 32 gigs max, which is good if you ever want to grow in the future. You got 512 gig SSD, Windows 10 Pro, free update to Windows 11. And you can even get the 24 gig model. This is what the laptop looks like. They're very simple business machines. They work like crazy. They have awesome features like the fact that there's a metal frame inside that's going to protect it if you drop it. You've got Keyboard spill tray. So what happens is if you spill water on the keyboard, coffee, whatever, it's going to drain through the bottom. And that's how they're designed, because they're made to last. These things are built like crazy. They're just great workhorses. So my recommendation is, first is this T490 14-inch HNI5 for $492, and you can find these also on different websites. Like here's one for $499, but this one has 32 gigs of RAM, I believe. So it's a little more expensive, but you can find them at computer shops locally nearby who buy laptops off lease. You can call around, see what you're going to get. You're going to get good IO as well on these laptops, which is awesome. But let's see on Amazon. I think there was one on Amazon. So $519 for a 490 i5, same model basically, but you can get it on Amazon. Look at the original price. It's because it's refurbished and it's a little bit old, but let's look at a comparison here. So one of these laptops was the Ryzen 3. I think it was, here we go. We got a $499 open box Asus VivoBook with the Ryzen 3 3250U, 8265U. Actually, I was looking at a different one here. There's this one, 8265U. So let's go ahead and search the 8265U and see the comparison between the two. So what are you going to get? What are you going to get? 9.0. So the Intel i5 beats out that Ryzen 3 that's newer. You can even find these laptops with i7s as well, if you really want to get more out of it. In terms of gaming, it's not as good. It's an older CPU, so that's known, but you're going to get more performance and more reliability out of the Intel. You're also going to get more cores, I believe. So you're getting 8 cores or 8 threads, 4 cores versus 2 cores and 4 threads. So double the cores, double the threads, which means the thing's going to work faster. Speed is slower on the base clock, which means that it's slower initially, but the computer will ramp up and it'll actually work faster than the other one. So if you don't know too much about CPUs, take it in that this one has a score of 58 and this one has a score of 56. So which one do you think is better? The one with more points. In that case, I think this is probably one of your best bets in terms of ThinkPads, because it's a later gen, so it's T490. It's been out for a while, but you're still getting a great processor, great RAM, 512 SSD space, which is, to get this on a laptop now, it's going to cost you $1,000 minimum, more. Yeah, so if you're looking for a new laptop, the T490 is a good buy. You can even find T480s in here as well for even less. Like I have one of these and I use it as my personal laptop and it works great. I have 16 gigs of RAM, 512 SSD. This is exactly what I have right here basically. And it's $354 Canadian. Like this is just outrageous. Outrageous. The laptop, let's look at the IO. You get USB-C here, the charger, USB-C here that you can use, as well as with the dock. They sell docks. You'll probably get them cheap now as well. You get an Ethernet, you get an SD card slot, USB Type A, HDMI on board, USB Type A, and then headphone jack. There's literally, like, if you got $500 and you want to buy a laptop, I would definitely stay away from any of these because they're not going to last you very long. They're not going to last long at all, because the fact that like 8 gigs of RAM is going to become very, very small in a few years. So you want the ability to upgrade, and most of these laptops are so thin that their RAM is probably soldered to the board nowadays. You won't be able to upgrade them. Finding parts for these is going to be harder. So if you ever have an issue, you need to replace your mouse pad, you need to replace a keyboard or something, it's going to be cheaper and easier to get the parts for the ThinkPad because there's so many of them. They sell so many of them that they make a lot of parts, and the parts are readily available. But yeah, I mean, if you want something new at $500, I would say don't go new. Just get the refurb. Get it. If you have a bad experience, if you go with Amazon first of all, you should be okay. Best Buy as well. There's like, you get some sort of safeguards in there as well. You go to a computer shop, usually they offer you a little bit of a return policy. So in terms of what laptop to get under $500, it's the T490, not the T480, because the T490 is the newer one. You're just going to get a little bit faster processor. But if you want to even save more, the T480 is not a bad deal either. And that's going to do you very well. I could use that as my full-time dev machine, no problem. No problem, because it does the work that I need it to do. And you can also find different models like let's see, ThinkPad T series. We'll go through here. You can get the older ones. They're getting real cheap there. There's a T470 for $299, T470 $339, ThinkPad T460S. So the S is the slimmer line. I would stick to the regular model because you're going to get just better cooling. Laptop performance can be better, but if you really want the slimmer design, go for the S. So that basically concludes my guide to getting a laptop under $500. You're going to want to check your local computer shops. If you want to buy local, you can go to those local computer shops. They probably have inventory of these things dating back to the old models, the 440s and such, because there's so many on the market. There's so many. Lenovo sells so many of these things to big companies, and then those companies change over and start using different laptops. So a lot of the times too, these laptops are docked, sitting on the desk, and don't even get typed on. So that's another thing to think about. You're getting a really good machine at a fraction of the cost that it is when it's new, and you're getting way better components than you're going to get on a machine like the ones you saw on Best Buy's website for the $500 range, because those are honestly hot garbage. But hopefully I helped you make a decision. If you watch this video and you're still torn about what laptop to get, put your options down in the bottom, and I will gladly help you choose which laptop to buy. I can help you make that decision, no problem. Anyways, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed my YouTube video on how to get a laptop for under $500. Again, any questions down below in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that sub button. It helps me out a lot. Anyways, until next time, it's Tech with Tyler out.